But of course, one of the things we do have to do at a forum like this, we do it at every forum, but I think when it's all about feedback, I think we'd better invite your feedback. We do value your feedback enormously, and we'd like to actually invite you to give us some feedback. I think the link can also be added into the chat. I think that's the idea, as well as if people did, you can either access that via your phones or you can actually put it into the chat. So if I can invite you to give us some feedback. I'll just check if the team is going to pop it into the chat. People may have already have it. I'll just see if there we go. It takes you to a form site and you'll be able to offer some feedback. So I'll just give you a moment to actually make sure you can grab that form. And we'll actually put that also into our general chat in the team site. So the feedback that we get from you is always incredibly valuable, and we use that to base the framing of the forum next year. And we also do our own reflections, and even as I reflect today, there are things you go, oh yes, we could actually manage that thing slightly differently. But as Shirley said, things go well, and I think we have a very generous community that work together. Even if things aren't going quite as smoothly, we sort out a way to get that going. So you have the form now in chat. And if I could just move to the final part of the day, it's really to just spend some time just saying thank you. And if you look at the number of people that have actually come to the end of the day, it's been a very big year. And I think one of the big messages we've heard this year is how people have had a very, very, very busy time, and they're feeling somewhat overwhelmed and looking forward very much to the end of the year. And yet we had 180 plus people attending the winners, and we have 173 now still here. So it's wonderful to have that. So thank you so much. And I'm always humbled by observing the different sessions, by the innovation and care of the community that we have, the way people share practices, the lessons that they've learned, they're revealing some of the mistakes they made and how they've learned from them, and the innovations. And by the insights and thoughtfulness of our students. Is always fantastic to see the generosity with which they offer feedback to us. And there are so many takeaways, and we have a lot of those. And it's interesting to think of the imagery and some of the phrases that I think will stay with us around, from Naomi raising things like pigeonholes that were full and having somewhere to land, through to some of the different sessions. The power of the crowd was one of the things I heard, bringing the outside in and the inside out, and the idea the student raised around nudging. So there's lots of rich imagery in the takeaways we'll be taking today. So let me just move to some thank yous. Naomi's not here. She should be well asleep by now. But a huge thank you to Naomi. I think you can always gauge a good keynote in how much you hear them talked about afterwards. And she's been talked about in every single session I've been into. So that's fantastic. Thank you to Annette for her very warm acknowledgement of country, and for the invitation to work with us on the Indigenous Graduate Attribute. And we're delighted to do that, Annette, and look forward to the opportunity to doing that for the rest of this year, but also particularly into the new year. To Shirley, for her very generous thanks this morning to the whole community, and for sharing that great student feedback. And it does make a difference, I think, to see that, again, in the times that we're in, it's wonderful to have that. And just generally for the continued support, communication, work, leadership, etc. Thank you so much. To our wonderful students, wonderful to have you here. Really appreciate the time and the effort that you put into, and the care in attending sessions, running sessions, facilitating some sessions, and also offering us your feedback. I'd like to thank the people that actually chaired and facilitated the concurrent sessions. The ones I went into, they were facilitated with great warmth and generosity, and that was wonderful to see. And that was mainly people within IML, but also in KIC, in the Connected Intelligence Centre. So thank you. Thank you so much to our presenters. There's too many to mention. There were nearly over 50, but they were just wonderful sessions to watch. And I want to go back now. We've had the recordings for them, and we'll go back and actually revisit some of those. And that is the heart of the program, I think, seeing people sharing their practice in the ways that we did today. I'd like to also thank those who actually ran the tech showcase. the Learning Design and Technology team in the Alex lab, and also to Simon and the team from KIC. Those sessions were tasters, but they were ones that were really well attended, and I think gave us all a bit of a flavour of some of the technologies we could be trying out, which resonated really well with the takeaways as well. So we have a focus point to actually be thinking about support going forward. I'd like also to thank Michael Gonzalez. I've just now outed him as our Santa. I think people might have guessed that before, but it was wonderful to have Michael out on the lawn on the unicorn for photos, and to the library team for helping out, and also a big thank you to the Respect Now and Always campaign for the ice creams, which are wonderful to always have them. And they didn't melt quite as much as they did this last year. Last year, I don't know if you remember, they were melting as we were taking them outside. Security and facilities teams for their help in actually filling out the forms you need to do during COVID, and also access in getting in and out of the building. And just generally to the participants for this wonderful forum. It's always fabulous to participate with you and to see how you actually participate with generosity across the different sessions in the concurrents, but also in teams. So thank you. And finally, to our organising committee, there's a range of people that have contributed particularly to this organising the conference today, the forum today. Joseph, Dimity, Aurora, Marty, Anne and Jackie, and Gabrielle were at the heart of the organising committee. And they've actually put together the academic program and a lot of the sessions, and helped to facilitate a lot of the sessions, and acknowledging there are a lot of people outside of that gang that contributed as well. So thank you to those other groups in IML that made a contribution. Also to Debbie, who actually did the lovely imagery that we've used in our slides. So thank you so much. I'm going to call Philippa Scott our picnic queen. Philippa came in and helped organise the picnic. So thank you. And it was part of that organising group as well. So thank you very much. And it was actually lovely sitting out on the lawn having a picnic, and after having a photo with Santa. It was very nice. And finally, a thanks to our Great Ops Events gang. There's a group of young women who, led by Phoebe Huang, who have become the face of our forum. So to Phoebe, to Janet Wang, and to Ran Ring, wonderful to have you organise. You are champions. Thanks, Aurora, for putting up a champion sign. Fabulous to have you organise this. I don't know if we can spotlight them, but I think we should be. They're the ones in charge of the spotlight, so they probably won't let us do this. But you may notice, if anyone's able to see them, we're actually just delivering a small gift to them. So a huge thank you to that group for the work that they've done, often behind the scenes, that you don't necessarily see, that keeps the place going and keeps the forum running smoothly. So that's the thank yous, and to anyone I've missed inadvertently, thank you too. There's always someone that you don't manage to actually fit into your list. I would actually like to ask the award winners for the awards to stay back if they don't mind. We're going to have a photo with you, so we'll take a photo on Zoom, and then we'll of course have another photo next year when we actually present the awards. So thank you so much to everybody. We've actually extraordinarily finished 5 minutes early. We're now, for those on campus, we will now be going to the Ariel Function Centre, and there's details of that in the Teams site. It is in building 10, and I'm not sure which level it is. Let me just have a quick look. Perhaps, there we go. I think it's just 1 second. So yes, building 10, level 7. And so it's being held on the balcony there. And as Shirley said, we're very fortunate that the weather has held off for a change. So thank you. And there's the level 7s coming through. So with that, I was going to invite Shirley to make another comment, but we've lost Shirley. So I think Shirley has actually made her final comments. She was very generous in her thank you. So thank you, Shirley. And thank you again to everybody. I look forward to clinking a glass with some of you. And for those of you who aren't able to attend this time, I look forward to catching you up catching up with you next year face to face. Shirley, was there any final closing comment, or do you feel like you have finished?
I think I've said everything that I wanted to say, but it was just really thank you. I started the morning by thanking everyone for the most unusual 2 years, probably of all our working lives. But we did it, and not only did we survive, but we got the highest ever student feedback scores. But and someone said to me, oh, it must be because students like to work online after all. But I said, no, it's not. It's because we really listened to all the feedback from our students, and we made changes based on that feedback, and we kept changing, hearing the feedback, changing, and in the end, students really appreciated that effort. So just a big thank you again to everyone for making that possible.
Thank you, Shirley. And that's a wonderful note to finish on, and a great way to start a conference with thanks and to end a conference with thanks. So thank you. I'll now formally close the conference, and a reminder for those who are the award winners to please stay in this site. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone.